Hello, listeners, and welcome to episode 51 of Cocktail Hour.
Hello. Hello.
I'm Andy.
I'm Rev.
Yeah, like y'all don't know that. And with us today, special guest Rachel Spangler.
Hello.
We are so excited to have Rachel on, and I'm a little jealous because Rachel's coming at us from P-Town, which is the bomb. I was there last year, and I just had so much fun, and I kind of miss it. So there you go. Are you having?
It's a great time.
Isn't it? It's fabulous. So you have the whole family up there?
We do.
Excellent.
We do.
Excellent.
Susie and Jackson are playing Wii in the other room right now.
Oh, I see. Did you guys play your annual softball thing yet? Softball tournament or whatever the heck it is?
Yeah, it's wiffle ball. Don't give us more credit than we deserve. But yeah, every Wednesday night when we get into town to sort of kick off, we play a little bit of wiffle ball in the town center. It's a lot of fun. Not great shows of athleticism by anyone.
I did believe I saw something on Facebook about Georgia Beers stealing bases. Is that correct?
Yes, she stole first base and put it, not stealing it in the actual baseball sense, but she actually grabbed it and put it down the front of her shirt.
Oh wow.
Kind of
there's
daring.
a nice visual.
Yeah, kind of daring somebody. Daring somebody to get at it.
I've got to get to P-Town at some point. I'll have to put that on the 2014 vacation list.
Clearly.
Yeah, Women's Week is always a blast. P-Town anytime. It's beautiful. It's gay-friendly, but during Women's Week, it is also filled to the brim with lesbians.
It's true.
Oh, my wife would like that.
She would.
And I would have bruises everywhere.
Oh, that's not right.
Smacking me. Well, Andy, you've been talking about maybe that's the 8 to 10 hours I let you have her.
No, maybe, yeah. we can talk about that offline, yeah.
Excellent.
All right, good.
Let the bidding war begin between you and Megan.
Oh, no, that's not right. And before we get too far afield, we decided to go, well, I guess I got to back up farther than that. Rachel challenged us to find a drink that could go along with her Wonderboi image. And I have to tell you, that was very difficult. Very,
it was.
very,
Andy and I spent, what did we spend, like over an hour?
Yeah, that's unusual for us.
I love to make women work for it.
Yeah, we're working for it. You better put out, sister. That's all I got to say.
Oh, she will be, but we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. So what we came up with is something a little bit different. We're doing shooters today. Well, Rev is. I have a beast of a headache, so I'm not drinking. But the shooter is called the Stevie Wonder cocktail. So, yeah, we're going to go call it the Stevie Wonderboi cocktail. So the ingredients are a half ounce of Amaretto, a half ounce of Galliano, half ounce of Coffee Liqueur, and a half ounce of Dark Creme de Cacao. Or however
I made a double.
Did you? How did it taste? Go give it a shot.
I haven't tasted it.
All right,
you know what? I always like to wait.
I know. I'm just saying.
It smells good.
Oh, that's good.
It smells good. Oh, that's good. The Galliano, it's got that black licorice flavor with the coffee and the chocolate.
Oh,
it's good. I probably shouldn't have made a double, but we'll see how the show goes. But these are all liqueurs. It's not going to blast me out.
Yeah, it shouldn't. Yeah, but I don't like the taste of licorice. I'm kind of glad I avoided that bullet.
Thanks a lot.
Ow! I can't laugh like that. Damn.
But I do, so it'll be fine.
That'll be all right.
It's good. Since I probably maybe should have put like an ice cube in it or something, but it tastes good.
Oh, well, there you go. Excellent. So let's get a little of the housekeeping items out of the way, shall we?
All right.
All right, good.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/cocktailhour. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Yay! Thanks, Rachel.
Excellent. And we are very excited. We are going to announce the winner of the book drawing that we had, or the contest we had, 2 weeks ago?
looking for the first 3 print copies of the Sanguire series from Red Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the largest the largest number of entrants that we've had so far. So I was really impressed.
Nice.
And the winner is M.B. Panici.
Nice.
So congratulations, and I will be sending your info out to Red Hawk, and she will be in touch to get your info. So yay, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. That's awesome.
Yay. And then I have an announcement.
Really?
In addition to iTunes, our show is now on Stitcher. And so I'm going to read you just a little thing about Stitcher.
Excellent.
Right. So you can now hear our shows while on the go with Stitcher, on-demand news and talk on your mobile phone. The latest episode is always available for you. No syncing needed, no memory or storage wasted. It's available on your iPhone, iPad, Android phones, and more. Downloading is easy. Just go to Stitcher.com or check out your app store, Stitcher Radio On Demand. And I've been using Stitcher for over a year now, and it is by far my favorite way to get podcasts, and I listen to a load of podcasts, So I was thrilled when we were able to get Cocktail Hour onto Stitcher. So go look it up. Just go to Get Stitcher on your device, and then just search Cocktail Hour, and we come right up.
Nice.
And the load time is a lot faster than with iTunes. Like, I put Colette Moody's Last Call on last night, and it was on Stitcher within minutes.
Really?
And it takes about 24 hours for iTunes to load it up. So it's well worth it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, well worth it.
Sweet.
Oh, and I have one more announcement.
And yet there's more?
There's only one more.
Okay.
Only one more. For our German speaking listeners, there is a new Yahoo group just for you. I'll put the link is in German, and I'm not even going to attempt it. So I'm just going to put it in the show notes. But it's Book Geek, Henrietta Book Geek, who has been helping out on the virtual living room, let us know about this, and I see that they have quite a few members already. So if you're a German speaker and you want to have a nice place where you can go and talk about fanfic and lesbian books, now you have one.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there you go.
Sweet.
Yeah. All right. That's it. I'm done with announcements.
Wow, that was a lot of announcements.
It was.
I mean. So now we get to torture Rachel. Yay! What was that, Rachel?
Torturing Rachel. It's the American pastime.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Excellent.
So we sat down and read Spanish Heart, which is, I believe, Rachel's newest book.
Yes,
I think it does. It's not out yet, right?
It is out this week.
Okay.
Out this week.
They released it a little bit early, so it would be available for Women's Week.
Oh, nice.
See, Rad's always thinking. Always thinking. Would you like to give us a summary of the story, Rachel?
Sure. The book is about Rennick Molson, who is in the summer between finishing junior college and heading off to university. And she has lived a very small town existence, which is very frustrating for her because she's an out lesbian and has been for a while, but just has not had the chance to really fully claim her identity as part of the community. And she's feeling really left behind. Her friends have all gone off to college. She doesn't know who she is or what she wants to do with her life. And she's putting a lot of pressure on herself to sort of make those decisions, to find some direction. And so she goes on a school trip to Spain in sort of this last-ditch effort that this is her shot. This is her chance out in the big open world, and she will prove herself, by golly. But when she gets there, she finds out it's just a lot more complicated than she thought. Especially as she starts to have feelings for her tour guide, Lena.
Mm-hmm. That was good. We usually have, our show usually entails terrible spoilers, but we're going to try really hard not to do that.
Okay.
It's not going to be easy, damn it, but we're going to try. Oh, I heard that you had a really difficult time writing this book. Is that true?
I did. Well, I mean, I wrote the first draft just fine, but as you start to edit, you realize it's just not what you thought you wrote. Mm-hmm. And it's not what you meant to write, even. And so the editing process of this, it went back and forth. And for a while, we weren't sure it was even going to get published.
Oh, wow.
For a while, it looked like this one just might have to be shelved. Originally, she was much younger. She was still in high school. And Linda Sandoval, who is a friend, and she writes under the name, her lesbian fiction under the name of Leah Santos, so she's a writer, but she's also a brilliant editor, and she really stepped in and convinced me that this project not only was possible to save, but that it should be saved. And she really worked hard with me to sort of reconceptualize where Ren was in her life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I do have to say, when I read the acknowledgments, I was very excited when I saw that she was attached to it, because I've read all of her lesbian books, and I love them. She's got a fantastic sense of humor, and I always thought that they were very well written. And then also with all of the work that you did to make sure that the Spanish was authentic, and that's something that I definitely appreciate. And that was great throughout the book. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's sort of this mentality that, and I understand where it comes from, that writing in another language can break up the flow of a story. It certainly can be disorienting for readers who don't speak that language. Mm-hmm. So some people are of the school of thought that you should just avoid it whenever possible. But I didn't think that was authentic for Ren, and I knew it wasn't authentic for Lena, mm-hmm. who is from... Yeah,
I think the bigger problem, you really made sure that there were, very, very good you had Ren, recognize what this actually meant, so that folks that didn't speak didn't feel like they were missing out on anything, and folks that do, speak enough, that part, that kind of threw me out a little bit, because I knew what they were saying, but I understood what that was. It wasn't that big of a deal. It's interesting that you say that that you had originally written the book with Ren being much younger, because to me she still seemed like she was 16. And Andy and I kind of talked about that a little bit, and we both felt that she was very immature for a 20-year-old.
Yeah. That was very purposeful. She was very, very. I say that as always having loved this character, but that really, I think, highlights her transformation a lot. That she was well behind her peer group at the beginning of this book.
Yeah.
See, I thought that all three of them seemed really young for 20. And maybe that's because of where they were coming from. But I had a really difficult time keeping in my head that they were 20 years old.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think. I guess the other ones would have been either 19 or 20 as well. Yeah. Except for Hannah.
Yeah. Right.
Right. She's what, 12, I think?
She's 12.
Yeah.
But one of the things is I basically took this trip to Spain, minus the hot romance.
What? You didn't even get the hot romance?
No, I did not get the hot romance.
Man.
And I was with people, and it was very small. They're from a very small town. At one point, I can remember being in Barcelona, and the one guy who was with us was totally fascinated by the revolving door to the hotel.
Wow.
He'd never been in a city anywhere. Much less, one of the crown jewels of Europe. Mm-hmm. And so there is this sort of culture shock between American and Spanish culture, but also this culture shock of they've never been out of their small town other than maybe to see a baseball game somewhere.
Yeah. Right. And that was something that, your descriptions of Spain And Andy, why don't you go ahead and
Oh yeah, I was
talk on this.
after I got done with the book, I'm like, damn, I need to go to Spain now. I mean, because it was never on my bucket list. I'm like, oh crap, I can't miss that. I mean, every once in a while I would pull up and do a Google image search for something like, it was a painting from El Greco,
Yeah.
just to see what.
That's a great compliment. I hope everyone wants to go to Spain after reading it.
Yeah, no kidding. I do.
The art aspect was a really great surprise because I love paintings, and some of the ones that you bring up in the book are some of the ones that I've stood in awe over myself. So that was probably the highlight of the book for me, was the mention of different pieces of work and different artists and the cultural aspects of Spain. So that was a really nice touch.
Yeah,
Again, it really goes to that authenticity.
Yep.
And it was I had to smile when I saw the nod to Catherine Friend's work in there also. That's the Spanish Pearl is one of Andy and my favorites. So.
Yep, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, Catherine Friend is fantastic. I stand in awe of her books, but especially the two set in Spain. I have sort of been on her for a while now. I think she thinks I'm kidding. But I really want I want her and I to lead a lesbian fiction tour of Spain.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I would love to get some lesbian readers together, and Catherine and I to go over, and she will take the parts of Spain that she writes about, and I'll take the parts of Spain that I write about, and really give that to her. It's clearly a ploy for us to get a good vacation back to Spain.
I like the idea.
2014, I can't do anything before then.
Okay.
We can't do 2014 because I got to go to Portland for GCLS. I can't miss Portland, damn it.
Well, we can do 2 holidays. I'm doing 2 next year, Andy. You can do 2. You did more than that this year.
Yeah, I did. I get a lot in this year.
Yeah, so there you go. You go.
All right,
we'll take 2. Well, I'll take 2. We'll go. One of them will be Spain.
All right.
Excellent.
Sounds like a good idea. I have a question for you, Rachel. Do you like Dixie Chicks?
I do like the Dixie Chicks. I like the Dixie Chicks a lot. But that is actually something that was ripped very much from my trip to Spain.
Really?
Our bus driver knew 2 words in English. Well, I guess technically 3 words in English. 2 of them were Dixie Chicks. And the other one was whiskey.
Nice. I had never heard of tapas before until I went to DC over this past weekend. And we went to this little tapas bar. And I had no, because that was, I had no idea that's not what the food was called until I got there. So I really like that you had that built into the story, because I wasn't
going to admit that, but I've heard, I've gone to restaurants and people are talking about, oh, we're going to go get tapas, or we went and had tapas last Saturday night, and I just nod because I don't know what the hell they're talking about. So I wasn't going to admit that, but I won't leave you hanging by yourself, Andy.
Oh, thanks. But
actually, we had. You guys are going to think that I didn't write any of this book from my imagination. But a lot of those sort of little stories, a lot of those little Americanism mistakes, and almost everything that comes out of Hannah's mouth throughout the course of the book are things that actually happened. The whole bulk of the plot is completely fictional, but those little side stories of like not knowing what tapas mean, and like I said, Hannah asking if they were going to play Mexican music all night. Like, these are these people that I was traveling with. And one of them was very, very young at the time. One of them was probably, I think she was 12 or 13. And so a lot of those little things were slipped in from my experience.
Wow. Well, it makes it feel more real when you read it,
Mm-hmm. I hope so.
Yeah. So did your version of Hannah fall down drunk?
Yeah, my version of Hannah, I'm still in touch with her. She's a good friend. She's she's a teacher with a child of her own, and she's grown into an amazing young woman. But she was very much Hannah. Yeah, we all feared failing Spanish retroactively because of the types of situations we allowed her to get into.
That's awesome.
I think you actually used that line in the book.
I probably do, yeah. It came up several points through our trip.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I had a tough time through the first half of the book. And then what I had hoped would happen did happen, and the second half I did enjoy more. Mm-hmm. I think I just had a difficult time, and I'm wondering if other readers will too. There aren't many places. How do I want to say this? So she was from Illinois. I'm sure it would have been. She's 20 years old, so she's clearly an adult. With the internet and pretty quick and cheap transportation to Chicago or Milwaukee or if she's on the other side nearer to Ohio, it struck me as odd that an adult would put all of her hope into a trip to Spain to finally meet some lesbians and get laid when it seems like there would have been many other opportunities here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if she were someone who were together and who had it going for herself and was not so hung up, she probably could have found that opportunities. The place in Illinois that she's from, St. Louis would be her nearest city. She would have had access to St. Louis. She would have had to drive for a couple hours. Yeah. Interestingly enough, she is from the same town, same sort of fictional town, that The Long Way Home is set in. So people who have read The Long Way Home will have a little bit better of a sense of that. But I don't think the story hangs on knowing as much about where she's from. I thought one of the telling aspects was when she mentions that she did try and sneak into a lesbian bar once, and got laughed at and never ever tried again. And I think that probably was more the key component. Was not that she couldn't find a lesbian if she was willing to put herself out there, but that she was so hung up on her own image that she was unwilling to make herself vulnerable. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that was part of the whole debate about how old we were going to make this, how were we going to market this. Is it a coming-of-age story? It's not technically a young adult, but it's got a lot of tropes of the young adult novel, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. It was more. What did you call it, Andy? Coming aware. What did you call it?
Coming of age?
No. You had a self-awareness. I think you had said
that might be it.
Yeah. And I did feel bad for her. I mean, she clearly had a really bad self-image, not necessarily with her looks or anything. I mean, she says that she thinks that she's not handsome or model beautiful, but she's good looking. But she really did. She was just really insecure, and it was nice to see her, develop as the book went on.
Yeah, that is true.
Linda Sandoval actually described it really well once when she said the first half of the book is a coming-of-age story and the second half of the book is a Rachel Spangler romance. And I think that's very much, and, I don't know how well I succeeded, but hopefully I was able to blend one into the other successfully without you feeling like you were reading two separate books. But it's definitely got a young adult sensibility to the book in the way that it's structured.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it felt like that. It did feel more like a young adult book. And as far as it feeling like two different books, I don't think that it did at all. No. I mean, it was a nice gradual. Yep. I mean, as gradual as you can get in 10 days, but. It was a nice gradual kind of knitting together. I didn't see it at all I didn't notice any sort of a
transition.
I didn't notice that at all. A specific, okay, now she's fine.
Yeah,
no. So no, I don't think you have to worry about that at all.
Mm-mm. Good. Nope. Well, now I think we ought to take a little break.
Oh, right. Damn, I'm not used to that.
For you, the listeners of Cocktail Hour, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. Our listeners may enjoy downloading Hit by a Farm by Catherine Friend, or even Swan Song by Robert McCammon. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/cocktail hour. Again, that's audibletrial.com/cocktail hour for your free audiobook.
Nice job, Andy.
Thanks. Poor listeners don't know just how hard that was.
Man, we have had such a tough time. All three of us took shots at the first one. Rachel was the only one who could get it. So, yeah.
Thank all that's holy. Rachel saved the day.
Yay.
She almost had to save the day on that second one. Dang.
Maybe we should just include that as a regular part of each show. Make our guests say they do our plugs.
I know, right? But we did break up our happy little discussion here, just so there was a transition.
There was.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you wanted to because I think if we continue to go much further, we're going to start giving stuff away.
Yeah, I don't want to do that either because it's a brand new book.
Yeah, and there's a lot that we haven't mentioned that I don't think that the listeners will necessarily expect to happen. So
Probably.
Yeah. Now, Rachel has been gracious enough to offer up a free copy. Are you going to autograph it if they choose the paper copy?
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent. So a free copy, either ebook or paper of Spanish Heart. So you'll get a copy very quick.
Sweet.
So all you have to do is go to our website, cocktailhour.us, and leave a comment under episode 51, letting us know what your favorite Rachel Spangler book is, and if you haven't read any, why the hell not? Okay, because really, we need to know. We need to know why you're not picking these things up. So let's see. What's the date of our next?
Before I got a quick question for Rachel.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say when they needed to have it in by, but we can do that.
Oh, yeah, we can do that. Sorry, I'm just messing everything up. Today's just not a good day for me.
Is it? We're having a rough day. Andy and I both have headaches, but at least I have a delicious drink.
Well, I don't know about that. It's got licorice taste to it.
Yummy.
Oh, yuck. Oh, God.
So they need to have. So you need to get your comments posted by October 26th. All right.
Yep.
So anybody who has a comment posted when I wake up in the morning on the 27th will be you'll be entered.
Oh, God, that's not right.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So, Rachel, what you got on the horizon? What you working on now? Can you give us a sneak peek?
Sure. I just finished the first draft of my next novel. It's called Does She Love You? It will be out in July.
Mm-hmm.
It has a love triangle.
No.
Ooh, yeah. It's so I've done quite a switch. Like I took a risk with Spanish Heart, and I wrote the youngest character I've ever written, and it's also in a first-person point of view. I now am moving into Does She Love You, which is by far the heaviest emotional thing I've ever written. Mm-hmm. And it is told from 3 different points of view.
Oh my hell!
But it has both of them have been challenging, but in completely different ways.
I was going to ask you, how did you enjoy writing in first person?
I don't know that I would say I enjoyed it or not. It was hard at first to get into. I lapsed into weird tenses that both my wife and my editor pointed out at multiple times. I, for some reason, slipped into the subjunctive a lot, which is not helpful at all. So I think I had a hard time just getting into that mindset. But at the same time, it's what the story called for. That book would not have been the same if I had tried to factor in Lena's point of view at all. It would have given us distance from Ren that wouldn't have been helpful. And in a coming-of-age story, it's really traditional to go with the first person because you want that closeness. You don't want those kind of barriers. And you certainly, with a character like Ren, who has a lot of pressure on herself, you don't want to give the readers a break from that. You want them to feel that pressure to the point where they reach the same sort of breaking point that she reaches and say, okay, enough is enough. And that was a big part of Ren's transition.
Well, I don't want to give anything away, really, but I do want to point out that let me see how I can say this without actually giving anything away. Okay, so there's a point in the book when Ren gets away from everybody and ends up in a bar, right?
Yes.
Okay. What happens in the bar was really uncomfortable, and you did a really good job of, I thought, kind of letting us know how bad it was, but still why Ren kind of stuck it out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Thank you. That was a very emotional scene to write, and the one following it where she really comes up face to face with more consequences.
Right.
The rest is hard to talk about without.
Yeah.
But she definitely reaches a very critical breaking point where she has to make a decision, and she is making bad ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I hope that it's not a scene that anyone is rooting for things to end differently. I hope that it's not a scene that anyone enjoys reading. It should be uncomfortable.
Yep.
You're supposed to feel uncomfortable when you read that scene.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah, but we don't say too much more. But the like you said, that scene and then the follow up, those are the turning points, and I thought you did a nice job on that.
Thank you.
Most definitely.
So to really feel the impact of those moments, you really need to be in a first person. You need to have been in her head all along.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
But for Does She Love You, we have 3 characters, and I blame KG McGregor for that. For her speech at GCLS when she talked about taking the hard road, I had initially wanted to write that with just 2 people. So you would get the point of view of the woman who had been married for a very long time to her partner and thought that she had the perfect life. And you would get the point of view of the mistress who thinks that she's found this perfect person, only later, after she's really let herself go, to find out that this person has been living a double life. But I sort of eventually came around to realizing that I was letting myself off the hook, that I needed to be in the third character's head too. It would be very easy to write her as a villain, this sort of heartless bastard that would do this to these 2 wonderful women. But that's not a human character. Like, something has to drive someone to the point where they are capable of doing something like that. And so I got in her head too, and she became a third main character, and so she gets equal time throughout the book.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
That sounds very interesting.
It's definitely emotionally very trying, but I hope that the reward on the other side of that is powerful.
Sounds
okay.
Now,
interesting.
Yeah. You can buy Rachel's books at her publisher site, www.boldstrokesbooks.com. And normally, Rachel, I actually do a little bio piece about the authors when they come on, but I couldn't do your bio justice. Girl, it looks like a thesis over here. I'm just saying. So go check out her site, www.rachelspangler.com.
All right. Well, no, we have one more thing.
Oh, we do?
We do, and I hope you're not uncomfortable with this, Rachel, but I believe we're going to try and fuck one of your characters now.
Why would I be uncomfortable with that? I do it all the time.
There you go.
That's awesome. Yeah. Who would you fuck? I completely forgot.
I'm going to go first.
Oh, my God. Are you going first? All right, go ahead.
I'm going to go first because you always take the person I want, and then I just look like I'm getting your sloppy seconds.
Oh, so I guess I get the sloppy seconds. Go ahead.
You can have Lena when I'm done with her.
Oh, thanks. I thought you'd go for her mom. What the hell?
There was no description of her mom.
Well, it's just an older version of Lena. I'll take her mom. How's that?
There you go. All right. Let's shake things up a little bit. Rachel, how about you?
Oh, well, I kind of have to fuck Lena because, fucking Rin would be like masturbation.
Yeah, right.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. I am very pro-masturbation. Self-love, no chance of diseases. You're not gonna have to have awkwardness in the morning.
That's
so
true.
maybe, you know what? Fine, I'll fuck Ren.
There you go. Woo! I love that.
There you go. Be a risk taker.
That's awesome.
Excellent. Wow. All right. Well, wow. That
really shook it up. That was
that did shake it up.
Yeah.
This whole WWYF.
Now wait though. Why Lena? And why her mom?
Her mom can cook. And lately, food is a little bit more important than libido. I'm just saying.
Aww.
It's just sad, but it's true. So I'll take the woman that can, cook for days and make your toes curl with the spices.
All right.
Yep.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take Lena because she sounded hot, and she could speak Spanish in my ear quietly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I got lost there for a second. Yeah. Lena sounded. I like the dark hair, dark skin.
Yeah, you got lost again, didn't you?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So
too. I'm with you. Just keep talking to me about my own characters.
Yeah. All right. And okay. Well, I need to go see my wife for a little while now.
Yeah, and I need to go find some paella. Thanks.
All right. I'm going to hit the sangria on the way out.
Excellent.
Oh,
You're going to actually drink? Wait, what? Really?
It's been a long week in the P-Town, and my wife has... let's just leave it at that. It's just been a long week.
All right. Well, have one for me.
Now I feel like I have to clarify, because I brought up my wife. No, my wife is wonderful. I love her dearly. She just was injured recently, and so... We've been through a long line of doctor's appointments and whatnot, and sometimes you just need a drink after that.
Yeah, she's on the mend though, right?
She is on the mend.
Good.
And you have a small child. How old is he?
I do. Jackson is 4. He will be 5 next month.
Going on 20.
Yes.
That's Action Jackson there.
He just walks down Commercial Street like a little prince.
He does.
Giving people high fives.
He was doing that last year.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, Jackson, you need to hurry up. We're going to be late. And he said, I can't help it, Mom. I got lots of friends in P-Town.
He's adorable, seriously.
Nice. All right. Well, yeah. After all of that and a week of exciting readings and get-togethers, I imagine I would need a drink too.
Yeah. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you both for this great episode. And we didn't have any.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, say that again.
You're welcome.
Yes, I enjoyed this greatly. I hope you'll have me back soon.
Well, certainly will.
And seriously, if you want to do a reading, just let us know.
Yep. We're
right.
always open for that. All right. Well, thank you all again. Have a nice evening.
Bye.
Bye.